Greatest definition of motivation I've ever seen was the one from Henry David Thoreau. He said, it is the pull of anticipation and the push of discipline. I love those two words, anticipation. Those are the goals we set, the objectives we establish, and everything we're trying to do to go to the next level. Then there's that other great word, discipline. Discipline implies work ethic, doesn't it? Discipline is what really makes the difference. Discipline means commitment. I love the word commitment. You know, you hear it a lot. Every now and then you hear the word commitment come out of somebody's mouth and you observe their behavior and you notice that while it did come out of their mouth, the premise of commitment is not really in their heart. Makes me think of the kamikaze pilot who flew 188 missions. That guy was busy, but he was not committed, right? We got to be committed. It's part of the process. Motivation will help us to get there. Well, the first thing I want to impress upon you is the idea that you've got to take the concept of learning more and doing better and always trying to make progress to a new level in your thinking. One of my clients is the Michelin Tire and Rubber Company. Biggest tire company in the world, very successful, premium products, selling at high prices. Not always the easiest sale to make, but they are a magnificently successful company. Well, I had the opportunity to do a speech for them a while back, and the senior VP who hired me called me and said, Don, I know you're coming in on the 14th for this meeting. He said, I wonder if you could make it a 13th arrival, and we'll go to dinner that night, and I want to talk to you about the real Michelin. I want you to really get to know our company. I said, that's great. I'd love to do it. I went to dinner with the senior VP, and after the niceties and enjoying a little bit of a short personal visit, he said, well, let me tell you a couple of things about our organization and where we've come from and where we are now and where we hope to go. I thought, boy, this is great. This is one sharp executive. He knows what's going on and he knows where he wants to go, and that's the kind of people I like to work with in leadership. He said, Don, would it impress you or surprise you to learn that we spent 42 years at Michelin trying to ascertain at what elevation in the Pyrenees Mountains of France that we would locate the goat farm where we raised the goats to get the hides to make the gloves which the wire handlers wore in the steel-belted radio plant. I said, let me get this straight. You got a goat farm and you're raising goats to get the hides to make the gloves for them to wear. And yeah, he said, we're trying to achieve the perfect elevation in the Pyrenees Mountains for the farm so that we could have the perfect amount of resin and moisture in the leather so that the gloves could be perfect for the wire handlers to make the greatest product that's ever been made in tires. I said, wow, that's diligence. That's a deep dive study. Some of the goats thought, hey, new location. They kind of enjoyed moving around. Okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then some goats said, yeah, but they still want our hides before it's over. So anyway, we got to think about the diligence, the deep dive. Jack Welch, the great CEO of General Electric, said, if things are changing faster on the outside of your company than they are on the inside, your days are numbered. That means we've got to always embrace change and be ready for new ideas, new focus, new priorities, new elements to learn. How we can do the old things, how we can make Encompass, for example, a greater tool for you and a differentiator this year than it was for you last year. And things of that nature that can help you go to the next level.